All right, so today I'm going to go through the behind the scenes of our first webinar that we hosted together. So Brandon and I, and I'm going to show you exactly what's worked, what hasn't worked for us, what we're going to improve on in the next one. And a lot of this stuff is going to be relevant to you. Doesn't matter what type of webinar you want to run. You can use this strategy in this layout and outline for you to go forward and host a webinar. Excuse me, apologize for my voice today, still a little sick. So the topics, you can pick whatever topic you want, but I would highly recommend focusing in on these six that I have outlined here. Us personally, we use cash damming as our topic, but from like a mortgage strategy perspective, I think like next in line in terms of effectiveness would be the debt swap strategy. I think this would be key for any financial advisor showing them this strategy. Realtors, maybe not so much. I mean, I think a lot of them are starving for content, so they might be down to go forward with this and send this out to their database. But I think the debt swap really pairs nicely with financial advisors. The Man One product, same thing. Financial advisors, you can try to pitch this to realtors as well. That's the power of the paycheck strategy.
Yeah.
Renewals 101 would be any consumer for that matter. I think realtors would be down for this as well. And I wouldn't really title the webinar as like how to renew your mortgage. I would more so like tap into like their pain, their desires, and frame it around that. And the goal from this would be, of course, renewal leads, but then try to get refis out of them as well. Debt consolidation. So this would be like just seeking out refis. I love debt consolidation files. I would probably lean towards doing this as well. I think the hard part for this would be trying to pick the referral partner. You can try FAs. It's just hard to really pitch that to them, like the big benefit overall for them. First time home buyer, that's pretty obvious. Your avatar for referral partner would be a realtor, and there's many first time home buyers out there. So I think you would be able to get a lot of people sitting in on the first time home buyer webinar. The issue I see with this is you get a lot of traction with people sitting in on the webinar, but not many people that would qualify and be able to proceed going forward. Now, the angle I would take with the first time home buyer is I wouldn't talk about like the first time home buyer programs. I wouldn't get into anything like that, like the basics of like first time home buying 101. I would go into more of like a strategy perspective with house hacking and the purchase plus improvement program and use those two programs to show them how they can buy their first home quicker. Realtors will eat this one up. So I think that's a good one for them and main traffic sources. So I've been referencing referral partners since I started this recording, and it's for good reason. Like you want to be able to tap into other people's databases to get people to sit in on your webinar. So the first place that we went for getting people to sign up for the webinar is going to referral partners. So we chose realtors because we already have a pretty good list of realtors that we have. So we're like, you know what, let's use them. There's a lot of angles we can take for financial advisors, but we're going to go with the low hanging fruit and choose realtors. They're starving for content and for a reason to reach out to their clients right now. So we chose realtors. And for this first one, we didn't really hit the database or social media very hard. Like we wanted to get the first one under our belt before going that route. Because we just did like to be quite honest, we weren't feeling very confident with the topic of cash damming yet. So we just spoke to realtors and said, hey, show up to our info session. We're going to show you a really cool strategy on how you can get more ends in your database and how you can provide more value to your clients. So step one was get people, the realtors, to sign up for the info session. Step two, once they're in on the info session, the goal is to have them sign up for that main webinar. And then once you do the main webinar, the call to action in this is for people to sign up for a discovery call. So step one, get realtors there. Step two, I guess I could put step two as get realtors to get people to sign up for the webinar. And then step three would be host the main webinar and book those discovery calls. So here's the results so far. We have 38 people that signed up for the realtor info session. Now, we didn't have that many people attend live. And a good reason for that is because we didn't do any follow-up whatsoever. And if I were to really look back as to why we didn't, it wasn't the lack of time. Like we had time to do some more follow-up. It was more so like, and I'm speaking personally, Brandon, you can chime in on why you didn't. I don't know if you did follow up or not, but I personally didn't. Is I think mentally I just wasn't too confident in cash damming. So I just felt like the less people that were there on the first one, the better. At least we can get a recording out of this one, and then we can get more butts and seats on the second one. So I think it was more of a mental issue for me, or mindset issue, I should say.
Yeah.
Brandon, were you the same?
Yeah, I think we had like a sort of a limiting belief that we didn't really know what we were doing, which is true. We've been doing hours of cash jamming learning since then, and I think we feel a lot more confident about it now. But going into that, it was literally something we committed to booking, and we're like, the webinar date is here, and we were figuring all the shit out the day before, which is like great because it speeds up your learning, but also it put us in a position where we weren't like we have over 1,000 people in our database, probably more than that, and we weren't reaching out to any of them. We weren't doing any social asks or anything on it. So I think it was just in our heads. If we were to do this again, we would probably get 100 plus people signing up and at 50% show up rate. But it was just the way the cookie crumbled with our own minds at that time.
Yeah, it was a mindset issue for sure. And I mean, like I'm still happy with that for realtor signups. Like I would maybe deduct probably about six of those is actually mortgage brokers. Some of our Tango agents signed up, and some external agents signed up for it as well, which is whatever. So that is more like probably around 32, 30 realtors that signed up, but like that's a lot of realtors. And even though we only had 11 that attended, we can it's a really good reason to reach out to them, and I've actually been doing that this week, is reaching out to the realtors that signed up but didn't attend live, so it's a good reason. And for the main webinar, we're actually hosting that tonight, so I can't tell you any results of how that has gone. But in terms of sign up, we have 22 signed up for the main webinar. Again, that number is super low. Like in theory, we should be able to get that a lot higher. Now, going back to my original point, we didn't hit the database. We didn't hammer this on social. I maybe posted one or two stories about it. And it was more of that mindset thing. But after recording this, I'll kind of dive into it a bit more down here. But like Brandon and I feel much more confident with cash damming itself just from doing the recording. So we are going to hammer this a lot more on the next one. So results so far, like we haven't had the main webinar yet, but just doing the info session has led to two really strong relationships, realtor relationships, and they're both high producing realtors. So that's what I'm excited for, and that's what we really did this for. Like, of course, any leads that come for the webinar is nice, but the realtor relationships was number one for us. So if you could imagine two really solid relationships for high producing realtors, that could be like 40K a year just from those, 40K each a year in referrals from those realtors, right? So even if one of them panned out, that's a good high leverage time that you put in there. So like I said, the show up rate was low. That was due to follow up, and talked about that as well. So some key tips. We provided a marketing package for referral partners. So we made it super easy for them to hammer this out to their database and on social media. Whether or not they utilized it, I didn't really care. I just wanted to show that like, hey, I'm prepared. We have all of this stuff for you. And it's this value added. And one of those two realtors that we connected with after this, they were or she was really, really impressed with the marketing package specifically. So I'm glad I did that, and it's evergreen. Like you can use that marketing package going forward. You can use it for yourself. You can use it for them. Didn't take much time to create, and yeah,
Just gonna
I,
jump on there, Tom. One of the realtors even used it as like her email list. I can see it's gone out a couple times to all of her database talking about cash jamming. One of the realtors had a follow-up idea of doing like a viewing party for the next webinar. So she's gonna get a bunch of like beer and pizza and bring in her investor clients and have them watch the webinar with her so she can kind of answer any questions as it's going as well. So there's just different things that have spun off from this that are expanding the reach of it all.
exactly. Yep. So I would start small until you do have it dialed in. Like again, this can go back to mindset, but like we did want to start small initially just so we can get the reps in and even like as little as this sounds, but the webinar software, like we wanted to make sure everything ran properly. So I would still recommend start small on the first one. You can do the next webinar like 2 weeks later. Like you don't have to wait a full month. So I would still recommend doing that and pick any topic that you want, but just make sure it aligns with referral partners' wants and needs because again, you're going to get more traction tapping into other people's databases versus trying to just go B2C, like business to consumer. I would much rather be able to do both. First, leverage B2B, business to business, so realtors or FAs or accountants, and then you can go to consumers as well. Follow up is key. Like if we did much more follow up, even like to get people signed up, we would have had much more traction with it. And the really cool part about this is we're able to repurpose this now. So just because it's one webinar, one and done, doesn't mean you can't use the recording. So the
Sure.
more you do this, the better the recording is going to be. And as of right now, the recording for tonight, like once we do the webinar, I'm going to be using that recording, and I already created the lead magnet. I'm going to have people on whether they're finding me on Instagram or TikTok. The main link on my bio is leading people towards a lead magnet, and it's just about cash damming, and I call it a mini course, and it's going to be the recording of the webinar, which should be like around 20-25 minutes. That's another point, like keep it super short. And in order for them to access the recording, they're going to be opting in with their email. And from there, I haven't built this out yet, but I'm going to have a drip campaign of emails specific on cash damming that's going to keep going to them. And they get access to that video right away. And so that's the part I like about this is you can repurpose this and eventually like we probably won't even keep doing the webinar. We're just going to hammer the lead magnets in our database with the videos.